Good day, freaks. Here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we are closing out with December's What's on Deck read with Libra, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or a loaded seventh house. If you have three or more planets in the seventh house of Libra, even if they're in a different sign, you could still notice a lot of resonance with the message that comes through. I already had messages coming through for you, and I haven't even gotten all the cards. I mean, I've been doing a pre-shuffle here. I know what you're rising out of Libra. And I actually had kind of an interesting experience. I got this download that you are about to make a very important connection with somebody. This is a soulmate. Now, please keep in mind that when we're talking about soulmates, it's not always a lover, okay? It can be somebody who acts as the role of a teacher. This can even come from somebody that you just have a brief moment with, a passerby, okay? This can also be a friend. It could be somebody new coming into your family, all right? This can be a pet, all right? It can be so many different scenarios, but it's somebody who is part of your soul family. And there's a reunion energy around this. And this person is going to give you a pearl. And when you get this pearl, you are meant to hold on to it because it's something that is going to give you a lot of guidance in your way forward in this new chapter. You're about to go off on an adventure, and this is a bit of a scavenger hunt. And this pearl is the first thing that you need to get to the next stage of this new beginning. And be on the lookout for it in December. This is coming through real strong. And just as I had this message come through, I was going to pick something up, and out of nowhere, in a place where I don't even have my cards, I've been having very unusual experiences like this lately. This card stuck to my sleeve and fell on the floor just like this. And when I have this card come up, this is in, I think this is called the Galaxy deck from Bicycle playing cards. When I have this come up, okay, in the reverse, it always means like a reunion energy. Now you notice the compass rose in the middle here. The compass rose is significant in your situation. What I feel like's going on is this soulmate that comes in, they are actually either your person that you are opening this new chapter with, or they are somebody who is going to connect you to your person. And I mean this in matters of the heart. I feel this very strongly. For some of you that are already with your soulmate, this is somebody that is coming into the scene that's going to take your relationship to the next level. It's going to introduce a new chapter in your relationship. This is definitely happening in renewal of matters of the heart for sure. And what's happening is you're rising up out of the south node of Scorpio, and you're heading into your north node destiny. And your destiny has everything to do with you finally understanding your worth and your value in terms of matters of the heart, in terms of the other across the table from you, in terms of how you enter into intimacy, how you enter into love relationships. So there's a big up-leveling happening here, but there's clues, okay? There's clues. There's sort of a journey unfolding this week, and you're going to get your directional reroute. You're going to understand that you are moving up out of those lessons that you experienced in the Scorpio Pluto cycle, all the shadow that you waded through, everything that you integrated. And in your pre-shuffle, what was coming up was just like so much rising up out of that 5 energy, that energy of change, constant change, not having something that was lasting, not having something that was enduring, something that was always shifting. Like every time you tried to make a plan, every time you tried to hold a vision, it was like it was built on shifting sands. And so everything had this almost illusory quality, and along the way it gave you a gift. It gave you this gift of non-attachment. You got so familiar, so used to things always changing, that you learned how to enter that flow. And this too brings a gift, because it's a key in moving forward. By you going with the flow, you were able to get out of your own way. And this has a very important piece to play in what's about to unfold for you now. So we're going to dive into this energy. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards a bit more. And we're going to see what's on deck for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, or loaded 7th house throughout this present month of December 2022. Give us some insight into how we are going to be closing out our year, what is going to be coming in, how we can best approach it in an empowered way, any kind of integration, healing work that we need to do. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for what comes on through. Please do keep in mind, it is a collective read, so not every message will necessarily be for you. As always, engage your intuition, tune into the energies and see how they're speaking to you. Do understand cross-watcher energy can come in, so if you hear something that feels very activating for you, use it as insight into how the other person may be feeling in your situation. This can give you a clue as to how you can shift your stance to better handle the situation, all right? And this can be used in a very advantageous manner. So don't be so quick to put up resistance to cross-watcher messages. Also, in the case of roles that seem to be flipped, like you're like, that's not me, that's them in the situation. Again, it may be that their energy is what's more forward in the situation, and so it's getting sort of transposed onto you. There may be a lot of projection going on in your situation. Flip the roles as you need to, flip the genders as you need to, flip the energy as you need to. I'm just going to let the messages come through as they want to come through, and you apply it as it speaks to you. All right, what we got going on here? All right, so we got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like I'm getting two messages here. All right, first of all, I'm getting a message that you're done being the student in a certain area of your life. You have learned what you needed to learn, and now it's time to release this and like graduate up to the next level. And that's not always comfortable. I also see this as that Taurus North Node energy. This is the basis of the matter. This is where you've been. You've been operating from this position of being really stuck, okay? Stuck in the Scorpio cycle, the South Node, which is all about integrating your karmic lessons. And a lot of these karmic lessons for you had to do with love, relationships, intimacy, interrelations, connections, and how you show up in those situations, how you see your value, your worth, and the quality of your relationships and your connections. I also feel like you have been dealing with a challenge in regard to the Taurus archetype in general. A challenge that relates a lot to stubbornness, to fixed ideas, to the inability to just flow. Because when that Taurus energy is out of balance, that's what it is. It is intractable. It's not able to compromise. It's not able to make agreements, and it can be very stubborn. And this may have actually even manifested in your reality with those Taurus natives. You may have been bumping into issues, this kind of butting aheads energy, or feeling like pushy energy from people that that have been around you that have Taurus strongly aspected in their charts, okay? So this was because it was supposed to highlight something for you. And it was supposed to highlight for you the areas where you're like that, where you can be intractable, where you can be stubborn, where you can have a difficulty in just like letting go and going with the flow. This worked out to your advantage because you did learn how to enter that flow. You did learn how to melt your resistance. You didn't meet that same stubborn energy with pushing. Instead, you met it with letting go. And for you, this was a very different way to approach situations like this. And through this is what showed you learned your lesson, which is that non-attachment, willing to go with the energy and how things are meant to unfold in your life. And this is what turns everything around. So let's see what's turning around now. Ooh, we got some. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, baby. This is what's turning around. It came up with this card too, so we'll take this. Didn't get very far with that. Look at that. Justice, okay? Karmic balance, man. Like I said, you have balanced your karma. And just as I said that, it was 10:23 on the clock, which is like just entering the start of Scorpio season, okay? So really, you mastered that, you know? You mastered that lesson. You moved beyond that. You found your balance. And now you're going to see a lot of things turning right side up for you. You're going to start doing that rise into the destiny of Taurus and all it promises that rises from your worth. There you go. You're moving quickly and swiftly with this Knight of Swords energy. This is your energy. And you see this bat in the background. That's good luck and rebirth. So you're going to start moving forward very quickly now because you are about to see your destiny unfold. 11:11 on the clock when I said that. I'm telling you, woo, yep, gone are the options, gone are the options. We got 7 of Cups, came up in reverse, okay? You have been taking some time. You have been having a lot of different options, possibilities, opportunities that have been coming your way, okay? You've been taking your time. You've been tuning in. Some may feel that you pulled your energy back like dramatically to the extent where it almost felt like you were cutting people off, but you weren't. It's just that you realized you had taken on too much outside energy. You had too many people's opinions, too many people's interference, questioning, involvement, energy up in your space that you recognized at one point, like, I don't know how much of this that I'm running is really my own energy and how much is hitchhiker energy. And I really just need to get clear in what I'm feeling. And I want, Ted just shook his head, yes, an affirmation for that. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with what I've been recommending to a lot of the signs, which is continue with your cleansing, you know, through the remainder of this year. Just close out the year with more release work where you can find the time to give yourself a little rest, a little repose, an opportunity to turn your attention inward. Meditation would be excellent for you at this time. And do be mindful that there's more types of meditation than just sitting in lotus position, oming it out. Like you can go on a meditative walk or a meditative hike. Dance can be meditative. You can also tune in and listen to a guided meditation, and that can be a different experience. So explore this, how you can enter that space of consciousness, you know, where you're kind of in that liminal space where you're not quite asleep, but you're not quite awake, and you're in that state, that brainwave state that allows you to gain access to your higher guidance, okay? But there is this need also just to cleanse the old energy out, you know, get rid of old things actually too in your environment that are just charged with certain energy that you're ready to cast off, let go, or maybe are things that are more associated with an old chapter of your life and you're ready to move beyond that, okay? So it's really about you just making the space at this time. But I feel like you really shut out the outside distractions. You've been getting very clear, very focused. You've considered your options, and something's coming forward very swiftly. And I believe it will also come in with communication in this like link up, like I was talking about. You got somebody coming in, they're going to give you a pearl. You're going to need that pearl to move forward. So hang on to it, all right? So there's something that cuts off the options, and you know very clearly where you're heading from this point. Oh my gosh, bottom of the deck energy, Chariot. Yep, you're moving forward for sure. And with this particular Chariot, I always notice that there is a fiery horse here, and the other horse has wings like air. So there may be like air, fire involved in your situation as far as signs, okay? So air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, fire, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, okay? But there's some kind of, getting on the same page that actually gets something moving forward. Oh my gosh, and look, we see a successful completion, and what's there? There's the pearl in the oyster, okay? There's definitely some fairy coming through really strong for those of you on that path. So do connect with nature and maybe give some offerings out if you can. Fairies love offerings of steel cut oats, as well as you might want to take part in a little holiday tradition I have at this time of year for Yule. I call it fairy godmothering, and it was very much inspired for me from the book that Brian Froud put out. He's just like a master of fairy. If you want to know about fairy, the heart of fairy, tune into Brian Froud. Many of you know him from his costuming for the Dark Crystal, and he's just fantastic. But he put out a really beautiful deck of fairy oracle. It's exquisite, and it really takes you into the heart of what fairy is really about, not the Disney Tinkerbell shit, okay? But I'm really like getting the vibes of, that fairy wisdom coming through. And this reminds me, he has a fairy in that deck, actually. What was his name? Oh goodness, my deck is back in California. So there might be a California connection for some of you in relation to this, but my deck is back in California. And there's one fairy in that deck, and he's the retriever of lost things. So if any of you have that deck, let me know, okay? I feel like also there's something that was missing that comes back around, but there's this pearl that comes in, okay? There's this pearl that comes in, and there's lots of transformation. Look at all the butterflies outside there. So I feel like, connect with nature. It is important. Give them some kind of offering, some kind of thanks. And there is also a card in that deck called the Fairy Godmother, okay? And it really inspired me for this tradition I have for Yule, which is about doing random acts of kindness, but through magical gifts, like just leaving all kinds of magical messages around town. Like you could get little ornaments, glass ornaments, and you could put special messages in them with, little, for those of you that like glitter, I'm not a fan of glitter myself, but you can put glitter inside or whatever, and you can hang them in trees, or just leaving little sweet surprises that people can find synchronistically that give them some kind of hope, some kind of message, some kind of belief that things can be better. Any way you want to give somebody some kind of gift, something that gives them a feeling of there's reason to believe that things can get better, right? Because there's so much heaviness at this time of year during the holidays. And Ted said, yes, again, a lot of people miss loved ones, or it's just a challenging time when they feel isolated or alone. And it's sort of like, almost like by you participating in this kind of paying it forward, it's almost like part of that transforming, that shadow work that you did with that Pluto cycle and rising up into that destiny. And there's something about it giving you this feeling of hope. Here's the thing with the fairy godmothering though. You don't do this like virtue signaling, okay? You don't go and post on Facebook pictures of yourself doing good deeds, or talk about how, oh, I did this wonderful thing for this person. You say nothing. You get no clout for doing this. You just do it out of the generosity of your spirit and wanting to spread magic into the world, okay? And I do have a group of people actively that I'm building, and I get more people every year involved in this. So I'm encouraging you, and I'm challenging all of you Libras out there to be part of this and do some fairy godmothering this year and get creative with it, get playful with it. There's something about this that also helps you build momentum and helps you, just continue to like shake off that last bit of, funk from your time working through the shadow. And it brings beautiful gifts your way. Look, it brings you total celebration. All right. You got a new foundation. You got a new start. 4 of Wands. You're coming into alignment. There's something to really celebrate here. you're definitely going to have a time of arrival. And it's going to feel so good, Libra. Look at this. This is the truth. Ace of Swords. Winter time, okay? You're going to see this come in. It's going to start coming in this month for you. You're going to see more unfold as you step into January and February. You have something to really celebrate here. This is you also being aligned within yourself. 2020 on the clock when I said that. Clear vision, straight way ahead. This is you being in alignment with your truth. This is you in integrity. And it's because of the way you have been moving through these challenges. Look what you got. Wish fulfillment. 9 of Cups. It just keeps getting better, okay? It just keeps getting better. Top of the deck energy. We got the moon here, all right? So I really feel this is speaking to this current lunar cycle we're in right now. Right now, we are in the dark moon cycle. We just had that full moon in Gemini. So again, we're going to be like building the energy during this last little bit of clearing out, you know, when we're in a dark moon cycle. And there's something coming through here for you about really aligning with these lunar cycles. When we're in the dark moon cycle, it's such a good time for doing any kind of cleansing, any kind of purification. And I feel like this is a really good thing for you to focus on in December at this time, just clearing off the last little bit of funk. And I do think you're going to have some stuff that's just going to kind of like a little bit more of that kind of grief that needs to be cleared, you know, a little bit more of the emotional heaviness and outside energies that have kind of clung to your auric field. You know, I think there's just like a little bit more of this. So bring in the smoke cleansing with, you know, the herbs that you're drawn to, or the sacred resins you're drawn to, like copal would be excellent if you can get your hands on some copal. And also call in that sovereignty, you know, bring in things like sandalwood, saffron, you know, rose, you know, bringing in this energy very strongly. So you're not just like clearing out, but also like inviting what you want to come into that space, to flood into that space that is provided as the result of the release. And it was 22 on the clock when I said that. Again, yeah, 22, 2 master numbers. And what do you get? 22, you get double fours, okay? So you actually can get 4, 4, 4, 4. Big angel energy on deck for those of you that really align with that energy, front and center. I think you're going to be meeting a lot of earth angels. You may have even just got your wings, and it was 22:44 on the clock when I said that. So it's a really interesting time. Yeah, look, this is what I'm talking about. The moon to the 5 of Cups. Look, there's that pearl again. You're clearing out the last little bit of this. Look what's waiting for you up above. There's that alignment with the soulmate, with the 2 of Cups coming in on the bat's rebirth. There's such a thread weaving through the destiny that's unfolding for you right now, Libra. You're going to love it. It's going to be so magical. I really feel this magical quality coming in. And it's because you're going to understand like how everything needed to happen exactly the way it did to make this occur. And that's going to give you so much renewed faith and hope and trust in your future and in spirit. And I don't think it's always been necessarily the best time between you and spirit. I think you've had a little battling of wills with spirit at times, you know, in that stubborn energy, but you're moving away from the struggle right now, okay? Struggle bus is pulling out of the station with the 6 of Swords. You're choosing to move free and clear into smooth sailing straight ahead, okay? And I love this particular 6 of Swords because it's almost like she's not carrying those swords with her like you see so often in the 6 of Swords depiction in tarot decks. These swords are being pushed off to the side and she's finding a way through. So I really love that, leaving that behind. And you're okay, you know, with the Hermit energy. You're okay to continue forward, just guided by this light that you're building inside of you. That's what's really going to shine the way forward. And you're cool with it. Like there's this real feeling of you come to this place of being very sure of yourself, knowing what you want, and where you've had questions about your next step or direction. Like I said, there's a pearl coming in, and this pearl is going to be what guides you in the next step forward. And it's all going to unfold for you in this manner. I feel like it's like little breadcrumbs are going to be left on your path by spirit, and it's really going to start to pick up now. You're really going to see it pick up now. Okay, so please do, with this hermit energy coming in with the Two of Swords, please do allow yourself to cocoon a little bit longer. It's okay. Do you see the butterflies in the background? Allow yourself to cocoon a little bit longer. You're enjoying this space for reflection. I can't help it. Look at these little figures in the back. It's like the fairies are there with you. They're like, yes, we're hatching something. Okay. So enjoy kind of retreating into your own inner world and let your imagination unfold, and use that energy that unfolds in this time of kind of giving yourself a little space to integrate, to also allow yourself to be creative. Some of you have stories inside of you that are really wanting to come forward. Some of you have creativity that is really wanting to be expressed. I'm getting a very bardic kind of vibe with this. So I feel a lot of this is coming out lyrically. It's coming out through music. It's coming out through songs you write. You know, I'm getting lyrics really strongly. Lyrics and poetry and stories, you know, writing stories. So there's some piece in this. Maybe allow yourself to explore with just some freestyle writing during these times when you give yourself a little space to reflect and kind of do this release work, this cleansing work, and this envisioning work that you're going to be engaged in December. You know, this is going to give you some insight into where you really need to continue to invest your energy and where you need to stop doing the work, because there's nothing more to glean from certain situations. There are some certain situations that you will be letting go, but where you've been investing your work in your career, and I feel like there's something too about this, taking this space to revision and maybe just exploring a little bit, letting the inspiration flow, getting a little creative. There's something that comes forward here that aligns you with the future direction in terms of your career or how you generate income. Or for those of you who are entrepreneurial minded, it brings a new aspect into your work. And look what it leads to, the 10 of Pentacles. This is like building a legacy kind of energy, all right? Building a legacy kind of energy, something that will last, something that will endure. Let's do a cut of the deck, because I mean, this is looking really fantastic, Libra. Boom. It's a yes from Spirit. Look, we got the Hierophant. And look at the tree here. Look at the tree. For me, this tree symbolism is really, it's speaking personally to me. And I'm a Libra, okay? So it is saying a lot to me, all right? But I also feel this is about you finally like finding the place where you belong. It's about you finding that soul family. You got a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of people coming in. Some people are going to be, you know, people you're linking up with again. There's been a lot of time apart from each other. You haven't had a chance to talk to these people for a while, but there's something really special about the coming together. Some of you may all come together around an event. There may be some kind of event that you all attend and it brings you together, but I really see something, I don't know why, but I got like healing circle vibes here too, like coming into circle with others. There's some kind of healing that happens. There's like new roots that come down from this, new roots. And roots are also about networks of communication. So I feel like you're going to be building a broader network with more people. Communication is a big part of this. Communication is going to open up and it's going to like really root the connections. These are not people that are just coming in like fly by night. These are people that are going to be part of your life for a really good long time to come, and something beautiful grows from this. It's totally sheltered by Spirit, all right? This is something really beautiful coming in, and it could have something to do with a Queen of Wands, okay? Maybe this Queen of Wands is who brings this pearl forward for you. This is a possibility. You could also have fire strongly aspected in your chart. I think you're going to be feeling yourself, feeling really good about yourself, but this is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, some kind of communication coming through with this Page of Cups, all right? And what do we got here? We got the Emperor, all right? Some kind of communication coming in around an Emperor. And it's interesting. You got Seven of Swords behind that, all right? So I feel like something's coming back around again. What goes around comes around, all right? But it looks pretty damn good for you. You got King of Pentacles here, okay? And there's that you rising into your destiny. Look, the Ace of Pentacles, again, Taurus energy. This is the fulfillment. Nothing's going to stop you. There might be people who try to interfere with this. I believe it has to do with an Emperor. Somebody's trying to interfere with an Emperor. Could be this Queen of Wands. They're not going to be successful. That's earmarked for you.